Welcome to our series on web page design in HTML, and in this lesson we're going to be looking at how do we get started, how do we get the right tools in order for us to create our HTML pages or web pages. Now, what is HTML? HTML is Hypertext Markup Language. The hypertext refers to the way that you can click on links to move from one place to another, maybe to another place in the same page or to a brand new web page. The markup language refers to the use of English words that we tag or annotate text, or in other words, to mark the language, and we apply rules to that particular text that we are using in our web page. Now, when you go to a website or web page, you are viewing it in a web browser. Now, what that means is that web browser is taking the HTML code and converting it into what you see in the browser. So the web page is as you see it in the web browser. However, for us to create or edit web pages, we need to use an HTML editor. And so there we can actually write or edit the code of the web pages that we are creating. So we actually need both these tools when we are creating HTML documents. We need to be able to change the code in the HTML editor and then view those changes in the web page. Now, you can use Notepad, which is built into most Windows computers. You will get a Notepad program or some text editor that you can use to create your web pages. I'm going to suggest that you get Notepad++. It's just going to make our life a lot easier, and we can actually use this nice colors so that we can see and check to see that our code is correct. So if you don't have Notepad++, then I'll suggest you go to Google, type in Notepad++, and you can go to their website, looks something like this, and you can download it. As you can see, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. I would recommend that you get this and you install it, and then we can create our web pages. When you open up Notepad++, it looks something like this, where you can type in your text, and this is general text. There's no major features there, but you'll see the other features that we're going to use when we get to the HTML as we get through this video series. Now, before we carry on, let's just show you how to save. This is a very important part. So in Notepad++ can be used for lots of different types of programs or lots of types of files that you want to create. But we particularly want an HTML file. So whenever you're creating your very first web page, make sure that you go File and then you go Save As. And so I'm going to save it someplace. And as you can see, I've created an HTML series folder. I suggest that when you're creating web pages that you save them in their own particular folder, because later on when we get to other aspects, like we've got multiple pages and stuff like that, you want to store them all in their own, so that all the pages and all the images that we used in the web page are all in one folder. So I'm going to save it as, your first page is normally your home page. So I'm going to call my first page home, and make sure that you save it as an HTML file. So make sure you go Hypertext Markup Language. So there we go. Make sure that you see that .html at the end. If it's not there, make sure that you add it. So we want to make this home.html. And when I click on save, now we've got an HTML file. So here's the folder. There you can see that it's actually saved it correctly. It's an HTML file. Now, if I double click on that file, it's not going to open it in Notepad++. It's going to open it in a web browser. So whatever web browser you are using, either Chrome or Microsoft Edge, so when I double click on it, it's going to try to open that file in a web browser like Chrome, which I'll see when it pops up. Yeah, I want to open up in Chrome, please. Thank you. And so it's going to open up here. So it opened up in a new tab, and there's nothing in our page. So that's why there's nothing being displayed. So there you can see it. But if you want to edit it, let's say we don't have Notepad++ open, you can always just right click on the file. And if you've already installed Notepad++, then you can select the option to edit it in Notepad++. So let's wait for the message to pop up. So it's going to come up. So there we go. You can edit it with Notepad++. So then it'll open it up in Notepad++. What I tend to do whenever you're viewing a web page, so we've got, this is the editor, and over here we've got what the page looks like. So my suggestion to you is that we take this page and we actually put it on one side and drag it to the side, so it takes up half of the page, and then the other one will be, not that one, sorry, I want to go get the Notepad editor, this one. I want this one to be on the right hand side. So yeah, we've got our code, and here we've got our web page. So we're going to make changes over here, and here's where we can see what those changes look like. So that's how I would suggest you get set up so that you can get started making your web pages. So if you haven't got Notepad++, I suggest that you go download it. If you don't want to, then just use exactly what we've done here, but you would use your normal Notepad editor that you've got on your computer. For the other videos in this video series, go look at the description of this video and you'll see links to all of them. And go to our YouTube channel, click on that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, don't do it the long way. Do it the Mr. Long way.